Hey guys, it's Sammy, and today I wanted to come on here and show you my new nails. I am so happy with how these came out. I did a technique I hadn't done in a really long time. So this is my left hand. Here's my right hand. And as you can see, I did like a sponge gradient, which I haven't done in a really long time. And you can see, like, you know, the gradient, it was okay. Like, the gradient, it came out pretty decently. I could have, I guess, blended it a little bit better with the sponge. But honestly, the stamping kind of hides a lot of, you know, that, which is nice. But I like how I did the opposite. Like, you know, this one goes dark to light and this one goes light to dark. So which one do you guys like better? Like the light to the, or the dark to light, or the light to dark? Because I think I like the light to dark better, but everyone else in my family likes the dark to light better. But I think they both came out so great. The colors that I used, the darker purple is this color by Mooncat, and this color is Midnight Drive, and it worked wonderfully. It sponged really nicely. When you sponge, you got to make sure, like, you know, you obviously you paint your stripes of polish and however many colors you're using on the sponge, and you just, like, you know, dab 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 dab, and you know, you do it, you let it dry, you do it, you let it dry. You know, this hand, I think I did 3 coats, and this hand I only did 2. It had been a while since I had stamped, so, like, I guess I was trying to cover up some mistakes on this hand, but this hand, like, went a little bit more smoothly. So I do suggest, you know, you do thin, obviously, layers. The lighter purple is this color by Maniology. This is a stamping polish. It's in the color Bliss, but the sticker fell off. Like, when I brought it out here, because it was on here when I put it down on my dresser. So the sticker's probably somewhere between here and my bedroom. So I just gotta find it. But I do know this is the color Bliss, and it is just a nice light purple. I think it worked really, really well. It stamped beautiful, or not stamped, it sponged on beautifully. Because I know a lot of stamping polishes, or at least like when, you know, stamping first came out, you weren't really supposed to use the stamping polishes as regular polish because they were too thick and they wouldn't dry properly. Especially this one specific brand. And when stamping first came about, like, they were like the big, like, that was the one you wanted because they were like the best. And it started with a K, and it was like Conad or Conrad or something like that, and they had a really great, their black stamping polish was amazing. I almost dropped it. But, you know, you really weren't supposed to use, you weren't supposed to use your nail polish as like a base color because, like I said, it wouldn't dry. So, but Maniology's, you can. I don't know about other brands. I know this is an indie brand that's not around anymore, but Colors by Leroux, they did a stamping line at one point, and I have one of their stamping polishes, and it's supposed to be like a silver hollow that you can stamp with, and they marketed it as, like, you know, you can use this nail polish or you can stamp with it, and I've never got it to work for me stamp wise. I haven't tried it in a while, but I never got it to work for me stamp wise, but it's a beautiful base color. So maybe I'll try that again to see if I can get it to work. But, like, you know, usually it's like, if it said you could use them as both, you know, it sometimes didn't work all that well for stamping. But Maniology's is great for this and stamping. Like, it sponged beautifully. It dried so nice. It just, oh, it looked great. And I like Maniology's stamping polishes because, again, they've got so many colors. There are so many colors. They're pretty reasonably priced at about $8 to, I think they have some that are like upwards of 15, but they're usually like super hollow and stuff. But you know, the creams are like $8. You know, they're, yeah, you know, they're pretty reasonably priced. They've got a bajillion intent and colors and different finishes, and they're just really good. And you know, sometimes they have mysteries where you get like 5 for like $18, which is a steal, and sometimes they're on sale. For the stamping polish itself, the actual stamp, I did just use white. This is just Maniology's Bam White, just a plain white. I was gonna use black, but then I couldn't see it on the dark purple, and then I was gonna use, so you know, I took it off and I was like, nope. And then I tried a gray one I have, and that one also, you could see it better, but you still couldn't really see it on the dark purple, so I just ended up using white. Quick tip, if you are stamping, I will have my nails done, like, you know, I did my gradient, I did whatever. Make sure it's nice and nice, super dry. Like, I usually let it dry for, you know, an hour or more to make sure everything is nice and dry. And then I top it with a gel top coat, because I personally think it's easier to stamp on the gel top coat. And then also, if I mess up, if I smear it, if it's like super crooked, if I just don't like the image, or in this case, I didn't like the color I stamped with, you can take it off and it does not affect anything, because using just regular normal non-acetone nail polish remover to quickly and easily very swipe off just the stamp, because it only takes like and it's gone, is not going to affect the gel top coat, and thus isn't going to affect what you did on your nails beforehand. And then after I stamp, I do another coat of gel top coat, because gel top coat is the only top coat I have ever found that does not smear my stamping. Every other top coat smears it. There are some that are worse than others, but they always smear. I have never had any top coat not smear it. So I use gel top coat. So for my stamping plate, I also used a Maniology plate, because they are my favorite plates. And this is the Maniology X, and I wonder if it's supposed to be Annie. It's A-N-E, but I'm just gonna go with Annie. Annie says, Annie Say Art. And it's spelled A-N-E, and then say, and then art. Let me see if I can get the name. There you go, you can kind of see it. Yeah. And the plate number is M364. I think there's 4 plates from this creator. I have 2 of them. I didn't even realize they were a collab when I bought them. But she has 2 more, and they're awesome as well. And I really want to get the other 2 that are in this collab. As you can see, it's just a bunch of moths. Very pretty. I'm not going to show the plate off too much, because it, you know, it does that. But every image I did is on these nails is from this plate. And also I did 10 different images. First off, here's my thumb. I really like this one. That would be upside down. There we go. I liked this one. I thought came out so beautiful. I love the, like, the outline around it. And then I like this one too. I like all these images. This one, my ring finger, might be my favorite, because I love the wings on it, and like the moons are in it, and the sun and the stars. This is 2 little images. I got a little baby moth, and then like a fern. And then I have this one. There we go. That one came out a little crooked, but I took it off and I tried again. And I think it was actually worse the second time. This is my second attempt. I think it was actually worse the second attempt, and I was like, I'm not doing it no more. I give it, you know, I only try once or twice and I'm like, nope, done. I got this one. This is another one I really liked. This was a full nail image. I really liked that one. I did another one of the, like with the outline ones, and this one again came out kind of really freaking crooked. And even like, I don't know how I did that right there. But again, this was my second attempt, and this attempt actually looked better than the first attempt. The first attempt was really, really, really wonky. And so this was the better of the two attempts, and I was like, I'm not doing it again. Because, like I said, I give myself 2 chances, and it's whatever, unless the second one is really, really, really bad, I do not do a third. And then on this pinky, I did a full nail image. So that's all the nails. I do think my favorite nail is this one. That I like how the moth, you know, it went across nice and like, it just perfectly, you know, was slanted. I did that also with this one. I do kind of wish that this one was just down just a smidge, like, but it came out so perfectly, like, exactly how I wanted it, like, with the slant. I didn't, you know, I wasn't going to do it just to, like, move it down an inch. Not even an inch, just a tiny bit. But all in all, these came out super, super pretty. I thought everything stamped beautifully. This plate stamped beautifully. This is why I like Maniology plates more than, like, other plates that I've had in the past, because I've had other plates where it'll be like this, like everything is like super detailed, you know, like everything is detailed and there's all these small details, like in this one that I said was my favorite one. It's, you know, it's got the sun, or not sun, it's got stars and moons in the wings, and they're so tiny, and it's like, oh, okay, that's awesome. But then, like, when you go to stamp it, it's not very defined, it's not crisp, it's just like, you get, like, the good image, like, the butterfly or moth, like, the outline comes out great, but, like, the details in the wings are just, like, little blobs, you know, not defined. And I don't know what Maniology does, but their plates are always so defined. Like, you get all the little details that are in the wings, or in the design in general. I'm just saying wings because it's this one in particular. You get all that. It's always there. It's always wonderful. These pick up like a dream. I always use my favorite stamper, which is not the Maniology stamper. I haven't really done much with I have a couple Maniology stampers. I've never really used them too much. But my favorite is from Uber Chic, and it is a squishy stamper. Those are my favorite. And this one, it's just a black, it looks like a shot glass almost. And you can take out the heads, and it has 2 heads. One is like a foggy white color, like off-white kind of, and that's for, like, you know, blacks and other colored ones. And then it has a black head that is for white and other, like, paler, like, pastel colors that maybe you can't see very well on the white head. That's my favorite stamper. But I have a couple plates that are like layering plates from Maniology that I want to try. And I do have a couple clear stampers from Maniology that I can see through, so I'll have to try those out and see if I can layer. I think I'm going to do it on paper first, though, like for, like, practice. I don't know. But yeah, so I love this plate. I fully recommend Maniology in general, but, like, this plate in particular. Again, it is M364. You definitely, it's just gorgeous, and all the details are always there, and, like, that's what I love about Maniology is the details. Just, Okay, so that is my video. Again, here is my left hand, and here is my right hand. And yeah, that is my video, and I will talk to you later. Bye!